Good evening, all of you. In the last session, we started our discussion related to Linux operating system. So we have seen introduction part for the Linux, and we have seen Linux architecture, and we discussed about Linux file system also. Linux is an open source operating system. So many companies had taken Linux OS and modified according to their requirements and released into market with different names. Those are called as Linux distributions. More than 200 distributions available for Linux, like Ubuntu, CentOS, RHEL, Fedora, SUSE, Kali Linux. Like that, there are so many flavors available for the Linux. Good. Coming to Linux architecture. So here you can see four important components. First one is hardware. The physical devices of the system. The physical devices of the system are called as hardware components like RAM, motherboard, CPU, hard disk, keyboard, mouse. These all are called as hardware components of the system. Now, there will be a kernel in the Linux OS which will be interacting with the hardware to perform the operations. And to provide the instructions to the kernel, we will be using shell. To provide the instructions to the kernel, we will be using the shell. And in our operating system, we will have the applications like browser, notepad, calculator, text editor. Like there are several applications we will be using. Those applications will be talking to shell. Shell will talk to kernel. Kernel will talk to hardware. So this is the architecture of Linux. Now, coming to Linux file system. In Linux, everything will be treated as file only. In the Windows, we will call them as folders and files. But in the Linux, everything will be treated as file only. All the files in the Linux OS are divided into three types. First one, ordinary files. Second one, directory files. Third one, device files. So like that, there are three types of files available in the Linux: ordinary files, directory files, and device files. The files which contains the data, they are called as ordinary files. The files which contains the data directly, they are called as ordinary files. Like images, audios, videos, they are called as ordinary files. And the next one, directory files. In the Linux, a directory file is nothing but a folder in the Windows. In the Windows, we'll call it as a folder, but in the Linux, we will call it as a directory file. Okay, now how to check the file type? How to check the type of the file in the Linux? First of all, if you want to see all the files which are available inside a directory, we will use ls command. If you use ls command with -l, it is going to display all the files with the types also. Okay, now let's go to our EC2 dashboard. Guys, if you see EC2 dashboard, instances currently running 1. So I have one instance which is currently in the running state. Select here. You can see public IP also. Then go to Putty. Go to Putty software. By using this Putty, we are connecting to our EC2 instance. Instead of entering the details every time, I have saved my connection details here. Now go to appearance. Now I want to change the font bold 16. Okay, and click on open. Click on open. Now I open my Putty terminal. I want to connect to my EC2. I'm using Ubuntu. Ubuntu is my username. Now, can you check it? Am I able to connect with my EC2 instance? Am I able to connect with my EC2 instance? Yes, I am able to connect with my EC2 instance by using putty terminal. Now we can check what is our present working directory, pwd. My present working directory /home/ubuntu. I can see who am I. My name is Ubuntu. In the Linux, my name is Ubuntu. That is my username. Okay. Now here you can execute ls command. When I execute ls command, what is happening? It is listing down all the files available in that ls, in that Ubuntu directory. Ubuntu is one directory. Inside the Ubuntu directory, there are 5 files available. Everything will be treated as a file in the Linux. AWS is one file, DevOps is one file, f1.txt, f2.txt, f3.txt. Like that, there are total 5 files available in this Ubuntu directory. How can I know that files are available in the Ubuntu? If you see pwd present working directory, currently this terminal is pointing to Ubuntu directory. In the Ubuntu directory, when I execute ls, it is displaying that there are 5 files available. Now I want to understand what type of files these are. AWS is what type of file? Is it a ordinary file, or is it a directory file, or is it a link file? In the AWS, all the files are categorized into 3 types. Now, in order to see type of the file, I will use ls-l command. Now, can you understand what type of files these files are? What type of files? AWS, the first character represents that it is a directory file. That means it is a folder. It is a folder. Now, DevOps, this is also starting with D. That means this is also a directory file. Now, F1, F2, F3, these files are starting with hyphen. Hyphen means ordinary files which will contains data directly. Okay, good. Now, guys, in order to navigate from one directory to another directory, we will use a cd command. Cd nothing but change directory. I want to come backward. Change directory, double dot represents come back to previous step. Come back one step. Just come back one step. cd. Now see present working directory. See present working directory. I'm in the home. Now just to do ls. Inside the home directory, we have Ubuntu. Ubuntu is what? ls-l. Ubuntu is what? Ubuntu is a ordinary file, or Ubuntu is a directory file. Ubuntu is a ordinary file, or Ubuntu is a directory file. Ubuntu is a directory file. And by using color also you can understand. Directory files will be represented with the blue color. Directories will be represented with the blue color. Okay, fine. Now I want to go to Ubuntu directory. cd space Ubuntu, change directory. I am in the home directory. Now I want to go to Ubuntu directory. cd space Ubuntu. Now see present working directory. Currently I am in the Ubuntu. If I want to come out from the Ubuntu, cd space double dot. Now see the present working directory. I am in the home directory. From the home, I want to go to Ubuntu again. cd space Ubuntu. So if you want to go to particular directory, then cd space the directory name. If you want to come out of that directory, then cd space double dot. cd space double dot. Now I came out from the directory, and currently I'm in the home directory. And I want to come out from the home directory also. How can I come out from the home directory? cd space double dot. Now see present working directory. What is this? Slash. That is nothing but root. So here, to navigate from one directory to another directory in the Linux, we are using cd command. cd stands for change directory. If you go for Windows, what we will do in the Windows? Now, currently I'm in 01 DevOps directory. This is a folder, Ashok IT, and there are so many folders are available. In the Windows, we are calling them as folders, but in the Linux, these are called as directories. Now I want to go to 01 DevOps folder, double click on it. Now I am inside that folder and I want to come out from that folder. Now here back to previous directory and I want to go inside the directory. So whatever I'm doing with the double click, with the mouse clicks in the Windows, same thing I can do by using CD command in the Linux. So do you understand what is the purpose of CD command in the Linux? Yes or no? Yes, right. Now ls, there are so many files are available. There are so many files are available. Now cd space home, I'm in the home directory. Cd space Ubuntu, I'm in the Ubuntu directory. Cd space AWS, I'm in the AWS directory. Can I create some files in the AWS directory? Touch f1.txt, f1.txt, f2.txt. I'm creating two files, ls-l. Okay, f1, f2 are the ordinary files available in AWS directory. ls, we have two files, ls-l. What is my present working directory? Currently, I am inside AWS directory. AWS available inside Ubuntu directory. Ubuntu is available inside home directory. Home is available inside root directory. So this is how we will navigate from one directory to another directory. Okay, now this is my present working directory. I want to come out from the directory. I want to come out from the AWS. So what is the command I need to use to come out from the directory? Cd space double dot. Sir, can I give cd dot dot? Can I give cd dot dot? Command not found. No, we have to follow proper syntax when we are executing the commands. Now we are using shell to execute the commands. This is Linux shell. We are using the shell. So what this shell will do? This shell will give the instructions to kernel. Kernel is the core component of the Linux. That kernel will talk to hardware to perform the operation. Got it? So we need to execute the commands with the proper syntax. Now check the present working directory. Home, Ubuntu, AWS, ls-l. Inside the AWS, there are two files are available. So do you know what type of files we have in the AWS directory? They are link files, or they are directory files, or they are ordinary files. They are ordinary files. How can you understand that these are ordinary files? When you execute ls-l command, if it is starting with -, then those files are called ordinary files. Perfect. Now clear this. Now present working directory AWS. Now can I come out from the AWS now? Can I come out from the AWS now? Cd space double dot. Now see the present working directory. Home, Ubuntu. Can I come out from the Ubuntu? Cd space double dot. Now I am in the home directory. Can I come out from the home directory? Cd space double dot. Yes, I came out. Now I want to go inside the AWS. Cd space home, cd space home, cd space Ubuntu, cd space AWS, ls-l. Are you able to see that? m1.txt, f1.txt and f2.txt? Very good. Now I want to come directly to the home directory. Cd space double dot space double dot. Now I'm coming out from how many directories? Currently I'm in the AWS. So how can you see that? What is your present working directory? pwd, present working directory. I want to come directly to the home directory. I don't want to execute the command two times. Cd space dot dot space dot dot. Can I do like this? Two steps I'm coming back. Currently, now see here. I was in the AWS directory. I have executed cd space double dot slash double dot. I came to home directory. Okay. Now in the Windows, how you will navigate? In the Windows, how you will navigate? Currently, I'm in the E drive Ashok IT 01 DevOps. I want to go inside, keep a double click. Currently, I'm in this folder. I want to come out, come one step, come one more step, come one more step, come one more step, come one more step, like this. In the Windows, you will do everything by using GUI. You will just click on the buttons. You will just click on the buttons in the Windows. But in the Linux, it is a shell. In the Linux, it is a shell. So that's the reason most of the people will feel Linux is difficult to use. Now, do you understand why people are using Windows for personal use? Now, do you understand why people are using Windows for personal use? Windows is having beautiful GUI. Windows is having beautiful GUI. You will just click the buttons. Okay, but in the Linux, people will prefer to use, see, Linux also having GUI. Linux is also having a GUI. Linux is also having a GUI. But are we using physical computer with Linux OS, or we are using virtual computer with Linux OS? Where is the Linux machine we are using? Where is the Linux machine we are using? It is available in the Mumbai data center. Which computer we are using now? Virtual computer we are using. Where is our computer? That is available in the AWS data center. What is a data center? It is a collection of servers with complex network connections. We are using AWS computers virtually. We are using AWS computers virtually. Now, can we see the GUI of that computer? Can we see the GUI of that computer, guys? No, we cannot see the GUI. That's why we are using CLI. We are using CLI. Okay, with this we understand how to navigate among the directories in the Linux. CD command. CD space, directory name you can use to go to forward step. CD space double dot to come to backward step. Perfect. Now, let's understand the Linux file system hierarchy. As I told that in Linux, everything will be treated as a file. The files are divided into three types: ordinary files, directory files, device files, right? Right, fine. Now, let's come back, CD space double dot. Now, what is that present working directory? Slash. What is the present working directory? Slash. Slash is nothing but root directory. Slash is nothing but root directory. Can we see what are the files available in the root directory? ls. Oh, there are so many files are available inside root directory. Can we display with the type of the file? ls-l. Now we can see all the files available inside root directory. Root is the entry point of the Linux file system. Root is the entry point of the Linux file system. Inside the root directory, there are so many files are available. By looking at this file structure, can you identify these files are what type of files? These are ordinary files, or directory files, or link files. Can you identify these files are belongs to what type? There are some link files available. There are some link files are available, and there are some directory files are available. So this is the file system hierarchy in the Linux operating system. Okay, now in Linux, everything will be treated as file only. In Linux OS, everything will be treated as in Linux OS, everything will be treated as file only. Okay, Linux file system looks like tree structure. Linux file system looks like tree structure. Linux file system looks like tree structure. To navigate from one directory to another directory, we will use cd command. We will use we will use cd command to navigate from one directory to another directory. Forward direction and backward direction, we can do forward direction from one directory to another directory. It supports both forward direction and backward direction. So if you see here dollar cd space home or dollar cd space directory name, then you will be navigated to that directory. If you want to come out from the directory, cd space dot dot, like this we can execute. To go inside the directory, we will use cd space directory name, cd space double dot. To come out from the directory, we will be using cd space dot dot. Okay, now, so cd command we understood. The next one is Linux file system hierarchy. Linux file system will start from root directory. Root will be represented with slash. Linux file system will start from root directory. Linux file system will start from root directory. It is represented as slash. Okay. When we go for this root directory, the root directory represents like this. The root directory will be represented like this. Now, can you see how the root directory is representing here? Can you see how the root directory is representing? This is root directory of the Linux. Now, when you go to your root directory and when you execute ls-l, some files are displaying, right? So these are the files and what that file is going to do. What is the purpose of that file? That is explained here. This is hierarchy of the Linux file system, root directory hierarchy in the Linux. Now, root directory will be represented with the slash. Now, inside the root directory, we have these many files. First one is bin. Bin nothing but binary. Command binary files will be available. Essential user binary files will be available. Now, let's go inside bin, cd space bin, ls-l. Oh, there are so many files are available inside the bin. These are the binary files. Which are available inside the bin directory. Okay, come out from that, cd space double dot. Now, next one is boot. Static files of the bootloader. Inside the boot directory, some loader files are available. How the Linux operating system will get started. So to start the Linux OS, some files are required. Those files are available inside boot. Now go inside the boot, cd space boot, ls-l. Now you see there are so many files are available. Some files are directories, and some files are ordinary files, and some files are link files. So total there are three types of files, three different types of files available inside boot. Inside the boot, it will contain the bootstrapping files for the Linux OS. Inside the boot, it will contain the bootstrap files, the kernels. The kernel is going to start now. The kernel related files will be available inside the boot. Okay, now, so Linux file system will start from root. Linux file system will start from root. Are you guys able to understand? Below diagram represents the Linux file system hierarchy. Below diagram will represent Linux file system hierarchy. Okay. Good. Guys, all of you, can you please read this? Can you please read this? What are the files available? Can you please read this? What are the files available in Linux OS root directory and what is the purpose of that file? Can you please go through these file names and purpose? Can you please go through these file names and purpose of these files? Root directory will be represented by slash. Next one is bin, boot, dev, etc, home, lib, media, mnt, opt, sbin, srv, tmp temp, usr user, proc process information. Yeah, read it once again. What are the files available inside the root directory of the Linux? Bin, boot, dev, etc, etc, home, lib libraries, media, mnt mount, opt, optional packages, sbin system bin, srv services, tmp temporary files, usr user utilities and applications, proc which is process information. This is the file system hierarchy in the Linux OS. This is a file system hierarchy in the Linux OS. Could you please go through these file names once again, guys? Very important to remember. If you know these files, then only you will understand how Linux OS is working and how Linux OS is getting started. How the Linux OS getting started and how the Linux OS is working internally, you will understand with these file names only. These files are the OS files, the core files of the operating system. Without these files, your OS will not work. Guys, now, sorry, I was on mute. I was speaking on mute, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to say that root. Root is the primary hierarchy root and root directory of the entire file system. Root directory of the entire file system. Root directory of the entire file system in Linux. Every single file and directory starts from root directory only in the Linux. Okay, now, sir, can we create any files inside the root directory? The only root user has the right to write under this directory. Root account user will have permission to write under this directory. Okay, inside the operating system we can create multiple accounts. In the operating system we will have one root account. Root account means administrator of the operating system. He will have the full control over the operating system. In the Windows, we will call it as administrator account. In the Linux, we will call it as root account. In the Windows, we will call it as administrator account. In the Linux, we will call it as root account. Root account user will have permission to write under this directory. That means we are in the root directory. Can I create some files, some directories inside the root directory? If your account is a root account, then you will have the permission to write inside this directory. Okay, now note. Now you see here, there is a root folder available. That means root directory is available. Slash, currently present working directory is slash. This is the root directory. There is another directory with a name called root. Both are same or both are different? Both are same, both are different. Come on. What is my present working directory? Slash, nothing but what? Root directory. Nothing but root directory. Inside the root directory, there is another directory called root. Both are same or both are different? Both are not same. Slash and slash root, both are not same. Slash represents root directory. Okay. Slash and slash root, both are not same. Slash and slash root, both are not same. Why? Because slash represents root directory, and here slash root represents root account user home directory. Both are not same. Okay, guys, are you clear with this one? What is the meaning of slash? Slash is the entry point of the Linux file system. Every single file and directory will start from root directory only. Who can write the files inside the root directory? Root account user will have the permission to write under this directory. Now, here, when I see present working directory, it is representing as slash. This is slash and this root directory, both are same? No, both are not same. This is slash and root, both are not same. Slash represents root directory. Slash root represents root account user home directory. Very good. So I hope you understand what is the meaning of root directory in the Linux. I'm talking about this root directory in the Linux, which is a slash. Now, inside that we have bin directory. Bin is a directory which is having a link also. Bin is a directory which is having a link also. Now, what is bin? What is bin? Which is second directory available in the Linux. Bin /bin /bin. Okay. Binaries, essential command binaries, essential command files. Essential command files will be available inside this bin directory. Essential command binaries, essential command binaries that needs to be available, in single user mode. Whenever single user logged into the Linux, or any user logged into the Linux, then we need to execute some files. Essential command binaries that needs to be available for single user mode. Or we can say binary files will be available. Binary files will be available here. Binary files will be available here. Executable files. Binary files means executable files. We can execute those files. Okay. So now you mean to say that some commands will be available now. It contains the files which can be executed. This directory contains the files which can be executed by users. This directory contains files which can be executed by user. It contains the files which can be executed by users. Okay. What are the commands that we can execute? Example, ls command will execute, ping command will execute, grep command will execute, cp command, etc. So there are so many commands that we are going to execute in the Linux. Those commands we are executing means for the commands, files are available inside bin. Let's go inside the bin, cd space bin ls. You see that all the commands related files are available. Let me do one thing. Clear ls-l. Now you see that inside the binary how many files are available. You see that in the binary how many files are available. So many files are available inside the binary. So these files are nothing but our commands which we are going to execute in the Linux. Now we are executing one command, right? ls command we are executing. So ls command we are executing nothing but ls file is available inside the binary directory. That is what we are executing. So binary means what? Executable files. Now we are executing ls command. That means there is a file for that ls in the bin folder in the Linux. Okay. Next one, boot. Next one is the boot. You see here, come out from this bin cd space double dot, come out from here ls-l. Now here there is one file called boot. Boot is what type of file? Boot is a ordinary file or boot is a directory file? Boot is a directory file. Now ls-l. Now can you see that there are some files available inside the boot also? Come on. cd space boot ls-l. Now these are the files which are available inside the boot directory. What are these boot files? Bootloader files, kernel files, those kind of files. Now files will be bootloaders will be available inside this /boot. Boot process, bootstrapping, nothing but starting. Bootloader files will be available here. Bootloader files will be available here /boot directory. Bootloader files will be available here. Kernel, VM Linux, grub files are located under boot. What type of files are available here? Grub init trd image old, init trd image, VM Linux old, VM Linux files, those kind of boot files are available here. Okay, kernel is the core component in the Linux. Kernel is the core component in the Linux. Kernel, init trd, VM Linux, etc. These kind of files, grub files, grub is one file available here. These all files are helping us to start Linux operating system. These all files are helping us to start the Linux operating system. Okay. Next one is dev. Dev nothing but not development, guys. Dev nothing but devices. /dev devices file. Device files will be available here. Device files will be available here. /dev nothing but devices in the Linux. Now come out from the boot, cd space dot clear, then ls-l. Currently we are in the root. Dev folder is available, dev directory available. cd space dev, ls-l. Wow, there are so many files are available inside the dev. These are all called as device files. These all called as device files. What is the meaning of device files? What is the meaning of device files? Block, CPU, disk, input, hardware related files. Hardware related files are available here inside the dev. Dev nothing but devices, not the development. Okay, this contains all terminal devices, USB, any devices which are attached to the system, like a CPU, we can say CPU, RAM, storage, like terminal devices, USB, any pen drive, such kind of things. Now, those devices which we are attaching, the hardware components of the system will be available inside /dev. This includes terminal devices. This contains device files. This contains terminal devices. For example, this contains terminal devices. Example, what we can say? CPU, hard disk, USB, etc. These things are called as device files, which will be available inside /dev. Next one, cd space dot, come to root directory, ls-l. Now after this dev, we have etc. Stands for etc. Host specific system wide configuration files required by all programs. Okay, now it contains configuration files. etc system specific configuration, host specific system wide configuration files will be available. Go to that etc, cd space etc, ls-l. Now you can see what is this Ubuntu advantage. What are these files available? Password, modules, all system specific configurations. Will be available in etc, etc. In the etc, system specific configuration files will be available. Host specific system wide configuration files. Host specific system wide configuration files. Host specific system wide configuration files will be available. It contains configuration files required by all programs in our OS. Contains configuration files required for all programs in our OS. Contains config files required for all programs in OS. This also contains startup and shutdown shell scripts used to start or stop individual programs. It also contains startup and shutdown shell scripts. It also contains startup and shutdown scripts. Startup and shutdown scripts, shell scripts. Startup and shutdown shell scripts for individual programs. For every program, we will have a start and stop. How that program will be stopped, how that program will be started, for that we will have a configuration file inside the etc. Inside the etc, we will have that configuration file. Okay, next one is home. We know home. So whenever we log in inside whenever we connect to the Linux, we will be pointing to home directory. So what is this home directory? Users home directories containing saved files, personal settings, etc. Okay, users home directory /home nothing but users home directory /home nothing but users home directory. You got my point? Users home directory. It contains home directories for all users to store their personal files. Now, if you want to store some personal files, then where you are going to store your personal files? Home directory. Inside the home directory, we will have a users folder. Every user will have a home directory. Inside the home, you will have your user account. Now, go inside this home, clear this, come out from etc, cd space home. Now, currently we are in the home directory. Now, inside the home, what is available? Ubuntu. What is Ubuntu? Ubuntu is my account. I logged in into this system by using Ubuntu user account. Ubuntu is my account name. For my account, one directory is available. So, can we have multiple accounts also? In one Linux machine? Can multiple users access one Linux machine? Can we have multiple accounts in the Linux? Yes, we can have multiple accounts in the Linux. Okay, fine. Home directory. To store our personal files, we will use this home directory. Home directory is for all users to store their personal files. Home directories for all users to save their personal files. Home directories for all users to save their personal files. Guys, why I am telling you all these files details is, by mistake also you should not delete any file from here. Because these are very important. In the Linux, everything is represented as a file only. So if you go to etc and delete a file, is that Linux operating system will work? If you delete some files in the etc folder, will it work? No. The complete system related configuration will be available in the etc only. So if you do any changes to these files, or if you modify, or if you delete these files, your operating system will be corrupted. Your operating system will not work. Okay, so that's the reason you need to understand the purpose of each file which is available here. Then you will use this operating system perfectly. Without knowing these files, if you use it, there is a chance of deleting some files or modifying some files which will corrupt your operating system. You should be very care while using this Linux operating system. Okay. Do you understand what is home? Now, here, for example, inside the home directory, we can create /home /Ashok IT. I can create, okay, or else /home /Ubuntu. I can create /home Ashok IT /home /Ubuntu. Now, like this, every user will have an account in the home directory, so that they can save their personal files in that directory. They can save their personal files in that directory. Okay, next one is lib. There is one directory with a name called lib directory. Libraries will be available. Library files available. Libraries for the binaries. We have the binary files, right? To execute those binary files, we need some libraries. In terms of Java, we can say library means a jar file. In terms of Java, library means a jar file. In the Linux, we are calling them as library files. /lib, libraries for the binaries. So what are the binaries available? We have for the binaries in /bin and /sbin. Libraries for the binaries available in /bin and /sbin. There are two binary files available. One is bin and another one is sbin. For those binaries, we have libraries in the lib folder. Library file names are either ld star or libstar.so.star. Okay, library file names will be available with library file names are either ld star or libstar.so.star, like this. Library files will be available inside the lib. Now let's check it. cd space dot cd space lib ls-l. Now you see that there are so many library files are available. .so extension. There are so many library files are available. Which are for binaries available in our application. /bin /sbin are the binaries. So to execute those binaries, we need some libraries. Those libraries are available in /lib. Okay, and the next one, there is one more directory called /media. There is one more directory called /media. Okay, mount points for removable media devices such as CD-ROMs. Removable devices. Mount points for removable devices. Like your port. You will keep a pen drive. Na? In the Windows, you will keep a pen drive, right? There will be a port for keeping the pen drive. Those are called removable devices. Pen drive is a removable device. Mount points for removable devices. Mount points for removable devices. Now let's go here. cd space dot cd space media ls-l. Now there are no files available here. But whenever you insert a media device, external devices, then this folder will be used for connecting to that. Okay, media, mount points, floppy devices, CD drives, CD-ROMs will be using, right? Those things will be supported by using this media directory. Temporary mount directory for removable devices. Mount points for removable devices /media. Okay, temporary mount directory for removable devices. Whenever you keep one pen drive, or whenever you keep one CD-ROM, or whenever you keep a floppy disk, then this folder or this directory will be used for those things. Temporary mount directory for removable devices. Whatever the external device you are connecting to your Linux operating system, for them this directory will be used. For them this directory will be used. Now currently, do you have any file inside this media? Currently, do we have any file inside this media? No. Why we don't have any file inside this media now? Why we don't have anything now? Did we connect any device? No. We have not connected any device here. We have not connected any removable device. Connecting a pen drive, connecting a floppy disk, connecting a CD-ROM, like that kind of mounting devices you can connect to your Linux machine. Whenever you connect such kind of devices, then this media directory will be used for them. Currently to my machine, no devices, no mount devices are connected, no devices are mounted. That's why this directory is empty. That's why this directory is empty. You got my point? Do you understand what is the purpose of media? Do you understand what is the purpose of media? And there is one more. There is one more directory which is called /mnt. /mnt, temporarily mounted file systems. Temporary mounted file system. Temporary mounted file system. /mnt, nothing but temporary mounted file system. Temporary mount directory where sysadmins can mount file systems. Temporary mount directory. Temporary mount directory where sysadmin can mount file system. When sysadmin is connecting one file system to this Linux machine, then this mnt directory will be used for this. Temporary mount directory where sysadmin can mount the files. Where sysadmin can mount the files. And the next one, /opt. There will be a folder with a name called /opt. /opt. Optional application software packages. Optional application software packages. OPT nothing but optional application software packages. OPT nothing but optional application software packages. Contains add-ons. Any add-on software you want to add. Any software you want to add. cd space dot dot cd space opt ls-l. Currently there is nothing. If you want to add any optional application package, I want to install some applications in the Linux, then /opt will be used for this. Add-on applications from individual vendors. Okay, any external or any software that you want to install in this Linux machine, for that we will be using /opt directory. /opt directory. Add-on application should be installed inside this directory. Add-on applications should be installed under this /opt. Any application package that you want to install in the Linux OS, you have to install that inside the /opt only. Right? Now, next one is sbin /sbin system binaries. SBin is nothing but system binaries. Okay, just like bin, SBin also contains binary executable files. Just like bin directory, just like bin directory slash SBin also contains, like bin directory slash SBin also contains executable files, contains binary files which are executable. Normal binaries and system binaries. Normal binaries will be available in the slash bin directory. System binaries will be available in slash sbin directory. Slash sbin directory. Okay. ipconfig example. ipconfig. Any system specific files that we are going to execute, those things will be available inside the sbin directory. Okay. Go inside this sbin. cd space sbin. ls-l. Wow. There are so many binary files are available inside sbin. There are so many files are available inside sbin. ip is one file, ifconfig is another file. Like that, there are so many files will be available inside this. So many files will be available inside this sbin. These all are system binaries, system executable files. System executable files. Okay, next one is slash srv service, slash srv nothing but service files, slash srv nothing but service, srv nothing but service, server specific service related data. Okay, now we are going to install some servers in the Linux, right, which are going to provide the service to run our application. That services related information will be stored into srv directory. Site specific data served by the system, data scripts which are executed by the servers, data offered by FTP servers, and repositories for version control systems. Such kind of things that we are going to keep inside service. Servers related data that will be generated here. Servers site specific data served by the systems. Site specific data served by systems, served by system, data offered by the servers, data offered by servers will be available here. Server specific services related data, server specific services related data. We are going to use this Linux machine to install the servers only, right? We need to run the servers required for our application. Those servers we are going to install inside the Linux machine. Those server specific data will be generated inside the srv folder, srv directory, srv directory. Okay, and another one is slash temporary. You can delete it also. Temporary, temp, right? Temporary files will be created here. Slash nothing but slash tmp nothing but temporary files. Okay. When we are using this Linux OS, some temporary files will be created. Temporary files will be stored in the tmp folder. Temporary files will be stored in the slash tmp directory. Now, the files inside the TMP directory will be deleted when the system is rebooted. Files under this directory will be deleted once system is rebooted. That means whenever we restart the system, then the files which are available inside the temp directory will be deleted. Files will be deleted. Okay. So do you understand what is TMP? Do you understand what is TMP? Temporary files. So whenever we are using the operating system, some temporary files will be created. Whenever we reboot our system, those temporary files will be deleted. Those temporary files will be deleted. In the Windows also, you can see the temp, right? TMP. Sorry, TEMP. Now, you see, in the Windows also, there are some temp files are available. Inside the C Windows, there is a temp. What is this temp? Some temporary files are generated. When I'm using my operating system, some temporary files will be generated. So whenever we restart that system, those temporary files will be deleted automatically. Right. Now, proc /proc. There is one more directory with a name called /proc. /proc. Virtual file system providing process and kernel information as files. Kernel information as files. Proc. It contains kernel information, contains information about the system process. It contains information. It contains information. It contains information about system process. It contains information about system process. It contains the information about the system process. Okay. One more thing is /USR /user, which is nothing but /user. What is the /user? User utilities and applications. User utilities and applications will be available. User utilities and applications. User utilities and applications will be available here. Now see that cd space dot dot cd space usr ls-l. User utilities and applications, those things like games, local files, libs, libraries, those things, config files, bins. User utilities and user related applications will be available in /user folder. Okay. It contains binaries, libraries, documentation, and source code for second level programs. It contains binaries, libraries, documentation, and source code for second level programs. Any programs that we are going to use in our application, that program related binaries, libraries, documentation will be available inside /usr, not user, it is /usr, not user guys, /usr. This is one directory in the Linux. So this is the Linux file system hierarchy. Linux file system hierarchy. Okay, fine. So please go through this file system hierarchy, and we should be very careful because this file system is very, very important. And in the Linux, everything will start from root directory. Inside the root directory, these all are the subdirectories. Okay, and the purpose of each subdirectory also we have discussed, and I have noted down. I will upload this file to our portal. You can download and you can go through that. So tomorrow we'll start practicing Linux commands. Fine. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.